this session, we're going to focus on the art of lunging. I'm going to use a loop band, so a continuous band, hooked around a stable object. They do make door anchors for bands that you can use quite successfully in a similar manner. It just needs to move. It just needs good balance. It just needs to be around something that is secure and it is not going to be pulled away from or any sort of danger whatsoever. I'm going to put the band around one thigh. The other leg is free, standing nice and tall. The goal that we're going to focus on for this lunge series, not all lunges, but just these lunges, is that when you step forward, the knee that is bending towards the floor is under your hip and shoulder and ear directly. Right? The band gives you some feedback about where your thigh bone is. If that thigh bone is not, if the knee is not bending, the band will slip. Right? But you can also feel how your torso is going to lean forward as well if your thigh bone stops moving. The goal is to keep your knee, hip, rib, shoulder, ear perpendicular to the floor, regardless of the depth of the squat. We're not talking how deep you go. We're talking about the alignment from your knee, hip, rib, ear, shoulder, ear being perpendicular at all times. The band really helps that. So, with the band directly behind you, you just step forward and bend, and then return. It's nice. And again, easy forward. Right now, we're just talking about from the profile view of the knee, hip, rib, shoulder, ear being perpendicular at all times. It's not the only way to lunge. We're focusing on this form of lunging for this series. And I really want to get that awareness to you that that is the alignment that we're talking about from the profile view. I'm not leaning forward like I just did. I'm also not leaning back either, right? None of those things. Let's try the other leg. Both legs are going to feel quite different, and that is very normal. Make sure the band is attached behind the same side hip directly. The non-bended leg goes forward. You step. The other side knee, hip, rib, shoulder, ear stays perpendicular to the floor, no matter how far your knees do or don't bend. You can just step forward and give a little bend, and that's great work as well. It's not about how low you go. It's about your posture from a side view. Easy. Try to keep your body very nice and tall. Try not to look down, because that will affect your posture. You want to go forward and out and see things that are in front of you. You can step forward and back. Just having awareness of that knee, hip, rib, shoulder, ear. Want it to be perpendicular to the floor at all times, no matter how far you're bending your knees. Now, the other thing we're looking for here, or I should say another thing, because there are many. Now, I put the band, and the band's coming to the side of me. Something else that tends to happen is the hips translate one way or the other when we're lunging forward. So, on top of being perpendicular from knee, hip, rib, shoulder, ear, you want to be stacked going forward as well and not let the hip go out to the side. Right? That's the other thing that tends to go wrong majorly is the hip and or knees will collapse inwards. Right? So I stay stacked perpendicular from a front angle as well. And here the band is pulling my hip there, so it's really encouraging me to get that inner leg to fire up to pull against the band. Easy. Again, I stay perpendicular. It's not about the depth of your lunge. It's not about how low you go, right? It's about keeping your body in that perpendicular place of not leaning forward, not leaning back, not allowing the hip to go one way or the other. Other thing to watch out for is that back knee may want to fall inwards as well. Try not to. The knees just go forward like they're on individual rails. We're going to try the other leg now. All right. So again, it's in line with the band next to you directly. You're just lunging forward and then returning. That's all we're doing for right now. Chest up, eyes up. Nice. It's not about how far you bend. Take your time. Easy. Okay. Getting the basics of lunging down is really great. It's an essential component to movement. You'll find different variations of lunging in your walking day-to-day life. Easy. Breathe. Try and keep that knee stacked. Try not to let the hip go over towards the wall. Try not to let the knee go over towards the wall. Conversely, try not to let the knee go too far away from the wall. A lot of things to think about. Easy. And that's what makes it so nourishing and enriching. Now, you'll turn around. You can also focus on the leg with the band moving. Right? So that's a different feeling. Before, that leg was staying still. This time it's going to move forward in space and return. So now the leg with the band is traveling forward and then return. You can feel how that band gives you a lot of feedback about your alignment. You want to stay in that perpendicular column the whole time. And again, it's not about how far you bend. Try not to lean forward or change that knee, hip, rib, shoulder, ear perpendicularity. One more time. That's a different feeling. You can feel how that band pulls you towards the wall. Let's do the other side. So again, the leg with the band is now going to step forward. So you could start with the band a little bit in front of you if you want. Doesn't matter that much. Easy. Step forward and then return. Keeping perpendicular, nice and vertical with everything. Breathe. Forward. You can feel how that band really pulls your leg off to the side. Easy. Breathe. Gentle. Hips stay square and stacked. Again, knee, hip, rib, shoulder, ear, perpendicular, as well as hips level, shoulders level, knees going forward. All of these things matter in terms of this rest lunge practice. So those are the basics of stepping forward. Of course, you know you can also step back when you lunge, right? We're doing a forward and back motion. Same principles apply. The band's on the same side leg, on the leg that's closest to it. It stays on where it is. Other leg steps back, and it's the same principle. And return. Leg steps back, same principle. Keep the hips square. Easy. Try not to let the knee go in or out. All these things matter in terms of joint alignment. Easy. Just two more here. You can feel how that band really gives a lot of feedback, and that's a great feeling. Now, stay here. We'll just take the banded leg back. Now, same thing. Banded leg goes back. You can feel the band pulls your leg, and you got to really resist that leg going to the side. It just steps back behind you directly, right? Not off to the side, not crossing behind either, directly. It really helps people not cross behind a leg too much, because one thing that tends to go wrong is people step back behind the other leg directly, crossing your thigh bones, and that's a different exercise. It's not wrong, it's just a different exercise. Let's switch. All right, now I'm going to switch my non-banded leg back. It steps back, I stay perpendicular to the floor the whole time. That's right, easy. It steps behind me directly, it steps right behind the hip, it doesn't cross behind. My body stays perpendicular to the floor the whole time. Easy, it's quite a nice feeling to get all these joints to be stacked. Now, the banded leg is going to step back, and it's tricky. You can feel how the band pulls you to step back directly, staying perpendicular to the floor. Stepping back, eyes up, away from the floor. Take your time. Try not to cross behind. Again, that's one thing that tends to happen a lot with people. Easy. Because you can't see, it's hard to have that proprioceptive awareness. Proprioceptive meaning you know where your body is in space without seeing it. Easy. Great. Rest. Excellent job. So those are the basics they're going to focus on. Now, of course, that is not enough for me. Never enough, right? Now, we're going to step the non-bended leg forward and back. You can choose to start on two legs or one leg. That is your comfort level. So we lunge forward, return, and then we lunge back, return. Great. Forward, return, good. Back. Feel free to put this foot down wherever you need to. Forward, nice and vertical. Return, great. Back. Nice and tall the whole time. Beautiful. Forward, return, back. Good. Two legs together. Now the banded leg's going to move, right? It's a different feeling slightly. Banded leg goes forward, return to one leg or two, and back. Body perpendicular. Try not to lean forward, easy, or back. We have 3 more sets. Forward, hips are square. Easy, back, body tall. 2 more to go. Forward. Great job. And back. One more time. Great. Forward. Beautiful. And back. Excellent work. Rest. We're going to change the legs. Really nice job with that. So all those things apply, right? Other leg in. That foot stays in the same place. The non-bended leg can start on the floor or off. You bend forward, return to where you came from, and then step back. And again, forward. The back heel will lift. The back heel will lift, right? Easy. The front heel is going to stay down. And that's what you saw here. My front leg is my right leg. And my front leg is my left leg, right? The front heel stays down. The back heel will lift. Rest. Really great job. Now the banded leg is going to move forward and back, right? So as that foot steps forward, that heel bone comes down, other heel bone lifts, return. Band leg steps back, that heel bone up, front heel bone down, return. So one heel bone's down, other one is lifting. Try not to have two heel bones lift when you're in that depth. Easy. The goal is to really plant yourself down, and part of that connection there is keeping the very back of your heel bone on the floor when you want to balance. Easy. And you can feel it's hard to not cross behind you directly. And rest. Really great job. Now those are the basics of lunging, right? Once you feel comfortable with that, you can do it without the band and feel what that's like. You can also add resistance. Now, this adds resistance to your whole body because the weight's above your feet, but it's also adding a lot more resistance to the torso, right? I'm taking the weight on one side. You can also choose to take the weight and carry it in the middle. That works as well. Weight on one side makes it harder on the non-weighted side to stay vertical. I'm going to step my opposite leg forward of the weighted side. That lunge series that we just did, I'll do a profile. I step forward, return to one leg or two, and back. Easy. 4 more rounds. Forward. Great. And back, staying perpendicular to the floor. 3 more. Forward. Great. And back, chest up. Try not to let your shoulders roll forward, even though you're carrying weight. Take your shoulders out to the walls. Easy. Forward. Great job. And back. 1 more round. Easy. Forward. Good. That's right. And back. Rest. I'm going to switch hands. And now the other leg is going to go forward and back. Again, it's not how deep you go. Keep the shoulders open wide. The opposite leg of the weighted side steps forward, bend both knees, return to one leg or two, and step back. Nice and tall. Easy. Forward. Great job there. And back. You have 4 more rounds. Forward. Breathe. And back. Nice and tall. Try not to look at the floor. The floor will be there for you. Breathe deeply, unless you're practicing in an unsafe area, at which point we need to have a talk about basic safety practices. 1 more time. Easy. Back. Yes. Rest. Really great job. I'm going to switch hands. Now, I'm going to go to the other side. The same side leg as weighted side steps forward and back. Here we go. You lunge forward, body perpendicular, and lunge back. 4 more rounds. Great. Forward. Nice. Breathe and back. Body perpendicular. 3 more. I'm not leaning forward or back. And that knee stays under the hip, rib, shoulder, ear. Easy. And back. 1 more round. You can do it. Forward. Great job. Back. Rest. Other side. So, the same side leg as weighted arm side is going to step forward and back. You stay nice and tall. Here we go. Step forward. Return. Step back. Knee under hip, under rib, under shoulder, under ear, back. 3 more rounds. Nice and tall. Shoulders wide. Easy. Eyes up. Chest up. 2 more. Easy. Forward. Great job. And back. 1 more time. Beautiful. Forward. You did great. Back. Rest. Excellent work. And there you go. A nice, easy way to practice a very specific form of lunging. Again, there's many different ways to lunge. We just focus on the version where your body stays perpendicular no matter what your legs are doing. If you don't have a band, you can do it without the band as well. You can also have a friend or child put them to work for you for free, because they're your child, not the government's. Have the child hold onto the band so that you can get some feedback to your thigh bone and hip placement. You can feel how really energizing and stimulating this basic series is for your long-term health and well-being. I hope you enjoyed that. My name is Eric. This is Nucleus Strength. I look forward to getting stronger with you in the future. Yours in good health. Take care.